I'm Renee.
And I'm Gravity.
We wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the real practical, realistic aspects of the school year of what happens when our conferring practice is kind of at a lull or a complete standstill. What happens then?
Right, because in theory, I would confer every day, those 180 whatever days of the school year, but the reality is sometimes state testing, holidays, all sorts of, sickness,
Conference
stuff,
days,
the school play, things can get in the way, right? So when I think back on the times when conferring was not the daily part of our practice in my classroom, kids read less. And I know that because I would look at the volume of reading and the number of books that they read, because usually that also meant I gave them less time to read in school, and when they read less in school, they read less at home. So that was a not so great repercussion of that.
And it feels like then it's perhaps like, what's it called when your muscles atrophy?
Yes.
Like there's this atrophy of all the reading routines and your thinking muscles and even personal growth that they've been working on. Your reading muscles atrophy.
Yeah. It also felt hard to start again. Like anytime you end a habit and you want to start it again, like as a runner, it would be like if I'm going to walk during a race, but like halfway up the hill, I'm going to stop. Right? Because then it's like, oh, I have to start again, but I'm like on a hill, right?
Yeah.
So there was this way in which I had to really push myself to get going again, and it felt, to be honest, like a little clunky, like a little bit like dead heavy legs, like this idea of getting started. It was worth it, but I didn't have the momentum to keep myself going.
Like when you skip class or your first workout, like your first skip is like, then the second one all of a sudden just becomes easier to skip. So it's like, don't skip it all, perhaps. Yeah. Even if it's not like, and I think sometimes the reason why we might skip is because it's not the actual image of what we want it to be. Like I can't get the full workout in, or I didn't do my homework for class. It feels so, but it's like, it's actually better just to go, to show up, just to keep that habit going. So just keep reading going.
Yeah, like even if I would have had 1 minute quick, like very short conferences, would have been better to keep the practice going.
Yes.
Like even if I'm jogging at the same pace I would have been walking, just keep myself going up the hill.
Some of it's mental.
Yes.
Right? And also the students just feel like they aren't taken out of their routine.
Yeah. Something else I'm thinking about is I was actually less secure in my whole class instruction because I wasn't getting the feedback. Like conferences are for students, but they're also feedback for us when we're sitting with kids to go like, what in my whole class instruction is sticking? And so I felt like a lot of times, like I was like, if you're in the room and you're like, is anybody out there? Like anybody getting this? Like, does this make sense? Like without the feedback of student voice in that process, I felt like I just kind of lost my bearings. Like I realized how much conferences let me know not just where to go next with individuals, but where to go with the whole class.
And that makes me think of like connection might be lost, right? Like the big part of that heart work of a connection, the mind work and the heart work, is that side by side that both we, the teachers, but also the students so look forward to. So I imagine that like if that is a ripple effect, like we might have to just pause and like bring back some like infusion of optimism into our, right? Like it might just like bring on this like unintentional grayness to our classroom. So it feels like that bringing, even if you said just that minute connection, it does give us a chance to, that one-on-one just touch base with those students. And I think they need that as much as we do.
And Cornelius Minor presented with us the other day, and he said something just along those lines. He said, joy is not created in monologue. It can only be created in dialogue. So I think about that back, that when I lose conferences, I'm no longer in dialogue with my students, and joy is one of the many things that gets lost. The challenge then is to figure out ways to keep a conferring practice going all year, no matter what. Even if it's one conference with one student on the day of the school play, it's better than no conferences. Even if the week before or after a school vacation, everyone gets a 2-minute quick, like, how you doing conference, it's gonna keep us in that practice and our students, because it's a lot harder to start again once you've stopped.